All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow, and you are listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. Hope everybody's having a great trading session. I was looking at, well, you can see the NASDAQs on my screen. There's a couple things I want to take a look at, obviously regarding currencies, but if you were in the chat room, we were looking at the S&P, which is got this head and shoulder pattern. You got the NASDAQ that was hitting highs. That's obviously all Amazon right now and Netflix. But let's keep an eye on the NASDAQ here with this possible false breakout. You can see that right here. Now, I want to show you guys the Russell. Okay, the Russell is actually underperforming the market, and it was heavy and been trading heavy all day long. If you're in the chat room, I was like, hey, you guys got to watch the Russell because it's really underperforming. And let me show you the chart that I was looking at. These are Bloomberg charts, so you can kind of see these are 1 minute charts. You can see I follow yields and here's crude and copper and gold, silver, spot prices, the Bloomberg dollar index, volatility, DAX, Nikkei. Anyway, you could see that the NASDAQ this is the NASDAQ right here. It was ripping higher, and then the Russell was just rolling over. And I'm like, man, this Russell is going to take down the entire market. And I don't know if it's necessarily leading, but I was thinking that if the NASDAQ started to show some weakness, the Russell would finally roll over, and it is. And now you got to watch because the S&P is starting to come under a little bit of pressure. You can see that the Dow is also nearing these trend lows. These are overnight and yesterday's lows. So we got to start being very careful with the market. Now, I told you, or I said via the tweet, I was going to talk specifically about the Aussie and the Canadian. So let's start off with the Aussie dollar, because the Aussie has been trading below. See this broken trend line here? And if you were listening to the Face webinar this morning, we've been trading below that broken trend line. It's testing the underside of it. I'm not going to be convinced that the Aussie's really rolling over, until we break back below this point, which comes in around 62 cents. However, if the Aussie starts trading below the daily lows, I'm probably convinced. Excuse me, I just ate too. That's why when you eat and then you talk, you got hiccups. Okay, so what's the other reason why I think the Aussie could break down? Well, if you look at the euro has snapped that trend line. If you guys use ForexAnalytix, you got the analysis just a little while ago. With the hourly chart, as we broke through the 618, you are trading at 108.40, and it said, hey, now we're going to be targeting below 108. The euro dollar is continuing to break down here. You can see it's continuing to move lower. But the important thing is, as the euro breaks down, the Aussie is going to follow. Now, what you'll also notice is the Canadian. The Canadian, I'm such a nimrod. I bought the dollar Canadian earlier at, my average was 140.90, and when it got back to 141.20 roughly, I spun out of it. I think I got out at like 16 or something. I thought I was hot crap, getting out of that. But, obviously you look at it now and I'm like, wow, what an idiot I was. Because I knew it's going higher. I mean, I've been sitting here touting like, oh, it's going higher. It's going higher. Oh, we're going to play, up towards 143 and change, which it's going. And I don't have a pattern in play going, and I'm not long the dollar Canadian right now. I'm so irritated at myself for kind of dropping the ball here. But that's because my focus is actually on the euro Aussie, which I'll talk to you guys in just a minute. But the dollar Canadian, I feel, is going above 143. So if you think, okay, the dollar Canadian is going above 143, euro dollar is going to drop below 108, and probably even further than that. I'm looking at the euro dollar might actually do something like this, because I was originally looking at this. You guys recall I've been very vocal about this. right? Something like that. Now, what I think is realistic at this point, let me reset this. What I think is realistic at this point is, let me see if I can get you another, I'll do it this way. Duh, 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 right? And so now, the risk of the euro breaking down towards like 107 is pretty realistic. So if the euro is going down to 107, where's that going to take the Aussie? Where's that going to take the Canadian? Right? So those are just, those are things that I'm thinking about right now as the market looks like it's trading heavy and the euro dollar is breaking down. Now, the trade that I'm really more focused in, and let me delete all this stuff just because it's going to make a mess on my charts. The last pair I wanted to bring to your attention is the Euro Aussie, excuse me, which if you guys are using ForexAnalytix, you got the update about the inverted head and shoulder pattern, but really, I'm looking for a break of this resistance, and let's just call it 174 roughly. Okay, because we have an inverted head and shoulder pattern that will play out to 177, maybe even further than that too, if you start thinking about like fibs, where we could travel to here. Let me get that low in, make this a little bit more visible, because that's only a 24% retracement of that entire move. I mean, you're talking 24% retracement. We could really, make it back to 180 if stocks stay weak. That's the kind of the other half of the equation here, is that stocks continue to stay weak. And remember, if you missed it earlier today, I am in the camp that we overshot to the downside near term. And when I say near term, I'm saying over the next, several weeks. We overshot to the downside, we overshot to the upside, and we're probably going to be consolidating like this for the remainder of the summer. And I'm just giving you my best guesstimate here, right? And just imagine this through summertime, okay? And, the stock market starts to do one of these, and I'm just roughly just giving you guys what I think is going to happen is, we do this, we do that, we do this, do that, and we do that. And then, sometime, we'll break out, break down. And that all has probably more to do with developments regarding the coronavirus, several months from now, which, as much as I'd like to say I'm a fortune teller and I can see what's going to happen in the future, I have no clue. So I'm just giving you guys what I think is going to happen, because it is going to take some time for us to get a proper treatment, a proper vaccination, to get people back to work, to find out if there's going to be a second wave, because let's all also imagine we're heading into summer, flu season, and if you may or may not agree that this is not going to be like your average run-of-the-mill flu, and then you're not going to see, cases subside going into the summer if we lax, or and honestly, I'm not sure what camp I'm in, because I'm not a medical expert either. I'd like to assume, and let's just run with it. I'd like to assume that things are going to improve because of all the social distancing, all the measures that we've taken. We're going to see less deaths, less cases. Things are going to get a little bit better as it warms up. And, the southern hemisphere is going to be dealing with it, or southern hemisphere is going to be dealing with it a little bit. The northern hemisphere is going to be dealing with it. Anyway, the other side of the world is going to deal with it a little bit different than us. And they're gonna see their caseload start to rise a little bit. But we are going to grapple with this. If that is the case, we're going to grapple with the virus, going into the fall. And so depending on where we're at that point in time is probably what's going to be driving equities more. So like I said, I think that we are in for some sort of consolidation period for the next few months. Overshoot. Okay, so let's just say I'm right. And stocks sell off a little from here. And, you know, when I say a little, like, I mean, we're talking maybe 10%, okay? Maybe a little bit more. If you have a 10% correction in equities from current levels, again, where does that put, like, you know, taking the currency pair like the Euro Aussie, where does that put the Euro Aussie? You know, maybe 5% higher, you know, back into the 180s over the course of the next few weeks. You know, I don't think that that's whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I don't think that that's uncalled for, and I don't think that that's, you know, asking a lot based on what we've done over the last few weeks, if that makes any sense. All right. So if you guys are listening to this broadcast and it's after the fact, that means you are not a ForexAnalytix subscriber. Try it out. It's $1 for 10 days. Again, doesn't matter what version you use, you will be able to test out the premium version and the mobile apps. So make sure you download the mobile apps and make sure you go to our chat room, which is right here. Let me get rid of the data flash. This is part of the program. I'm going to get rid of the data flash is right here. There's the chat room. Click right over here. That'll take you to the chat room. And that's where you're going to find me most of the day. Minus a little while ago because I was eating. Oh, and Joe said, don't forget the Trader Summit. Shoot, I almost forgot about the Trader Summit. Look for this link. This is our Trader Summit, and this is an online. You guys, it's all free, so you guys be able to attend. It's 40 to 45 minutes per speaker. It's in 12 days. Look at the speaker. Look at the lineup we have. Peter Schiff, Stelios' wet dream right there. Mark Chandler, Mark Yusko, Pete Buckvar, Peter Goodburn, Mark Newton, Adam Button, Faith Might, Lydia Finkley, Boris is an awesome, that idiot, Jamie Sayatelli, and I'm not sure who Steven is. I've never met or talked with him, but apparently he's, you know, pretty big deal. So it's going to be a really neat online event. It's 2 days. 2 days, 5 hours a day. So, and if we have to stretch it a little longer, we will. So you guys enjoy that. Make sure you sign up. I don't have I'm waiting for the right link. Just be on the lookout, and I'll be tweeting about it and all sorts of stuff. And it's not like, you know, we do have a certain amount of registrations because our license for our Zoom license is only for so many. So we had to expand it for this specifically, but seating will be limited. I doubt. Well, it may fill up. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Have a great one. My name is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix. I'll see you tomorrow morning on the Face webinar. Talk to you soon.